Okay, we back. We live, we back. We are not letting these technical difficulties stop us. Thank you, universe. We are thankful, we are grateful. We are magnificently blessed. We are about to get this download, this outpouring of beautifulness. Here we go. Welcome to another episode of Body of Work, where nothing can stop us. Yo, Vish, what up? Yo, Coach, what up? Yo, everybody, what up? Yo, Omar, what's good? Get your glasses of water. Get your pens ready. Again, my name is LP, a.k.a. Swens, a.k.a. Shades, if you know me in the industry. And today, the universe thought that you gonna get this work today. Because ain't nothing stopping us. So, thank you. Shout out to you, alumni. We love it here, too. So, I'm telling y'all, grab a seat, grab a hold of something, because what's about to happen, I'm sure, is about to just be gargantuous. That's why we had a little technical difficulties, because it happens once in a blue moon, but when it happens, you know it's about to be... You know it's about to be fantastical. So, again, don't forget to check out the links in the bios. And before we bring on the magnificent speaker, teacher, educator, coder, futurist, trader, again, y'all, we thank you so much. We thank y'all for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world at any given time on this planet, but you're here with us. So thank you. Shout out to everybody in MVC. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Shout out to all the Body of Work alumni for jumping on. And thank you to everybody watching live and on the playback. Now, again, we have just a spectacular guest jumping on the line in just a few moments. But what are y'all thankful for today? What are y'all thankful for this evening? Y'all have made it through, those in America, y'all have basically made it through the day. Those here on the other hemisphere are just starting their day. What are y'all thankful for, y'all? I'm thankful for water. I'm thankful for the internet. I'm thankful for the shirt. Shout out to my parents. I'm thankful for these glasses. Shout out to my optometrist. No, I'm sorry, my ophthalmologist. Shout out to her. Again, y'all, we are so happy and grateful and thankful for this morning, for this day, for growth. Yes, for growth. And we about to grow some more. Jumping on right now. Thank you for my health. That's right. There you go, Coach. We love to see it. We are healthy. We are abundant. And boom, we back, baby. Listen, you know it's about to be... Whenever that happens, I just want to let you know, whenever that happens, the outpouring is about to be bountiful. So, Crypto Joe, a.k.a. Joe So, the one and only Jahidi. Thank you for joining us today on the show. Look at that. The wind is blowing in your... Woo! We ready for today. We are ready. Hi, how are you?
Hello. I am blessed and highly favored. I am wonderful. I cannot complain. I am just happy as can be. I'm just so grateful to be here because, life's, but it's such a beautiful process, and being here is a blessing. So let's get it.
Yeah, life be lifing, and as we saw today. So we are eternally grateful and thankful for you to take time out of your very I told you this earlier. I was like, I saw her buy a plane ticket from a football game. Like, you are just the definition of like, let's go, let's get it, but enjoyment as well. So I'm excited to hear. So let me get out of the way, and without further ado, everybody, Jahidi, talk to the people, let them know a little bit about your story. Just let them know, talk to them.
Well, first of all, thank you so much. I just want to say I love you and I appreciate you because I can honestly say that over the past year and a half, 2 years, I have grown really close to a lot of people. And a lot of people who were absolute strangers, but people who I consider my family now and who I cannot imagine my life without. And you are definitely one of those people. So I just want to thank you. I appreciate you for everything and just inviting me here to even tell my story. So, I guess just a little bit about myself. I'm from a very small town. As I mean, if you know me, then you know where I'm from. You know how small it is. And just growing up, I loved learning. I loved school. I know a lot of people didn't like school, and honestly, that was really one of the only things that I was good at. So for me, it was a no-brainer that okay, you're gonna have to go to school. You're gonna have to, go to college. Like it was no question. And I'm blessed to have to come from a two-parent household. My parents are awesome. If you know me, you know how much I love my parents. So yeah, for them, it just wasn't a question of whether I was going to go to school or what. It was just a matter of where are we going. So college was not a great experience for me because in high school, you know how they say, oh, if you do everything you're supposed to, if you're in everything, you do everything, if you do what you're supposed to do, then you're going to get to where you want to go. And that just didn't happen for me. I did a lot when I was in high school thinking that was going to take me down this road of success and, take you to the places you want to be, but that wasn't the case. So I ended up at a school that I had never visited before, and I enjoyed it. I loved being there. It was a completely different experience for me. But then I transferred. And when I transferred, it was such a weird time for me because I didn't want to go. But something was like, yeah, you need to be there. You have to leave. And I had friends and family that I had made over these years, and now, I have to leave them. Why? Come to find out, it was really God telling me, yeah, I need you to go here. And I'm so grateful for that because I had the closest encounter with God that I've ever had. And it really changed the way that I view God. And it kind of brought me into the relationship that I have with him now, and definitely putting relationship over religion. And I'm very big on that. So that was a life changer for me. And then after that, it was like, well, God, you know what? We're just gonna we're gonna do what you want me to do because I tried to do it and it didn't work, and I was so upset afterwards because I thought I had it all figured out. So I ended up graduating from the Florida State University with a degree in meteorology. Now,
Whoa.
so my mom told me, she's like, you might want to choose something else. I was like, no, this is what I want to do. I was not in college for the degree because I never used my degree. And so I want to tell anyone, college is not the only answer. And I love school, but college is not the only answer. And once I realized that wasn't really a solution for me because I graduated from college and I have never worked a day as a meteorologist or anything pertaining to a meteorologist. Now, I do have a job in science and STEM working with kids, which I absolutely love. Um, now, that didn't necessarily come from going to college. It actually came from an internship experience that I could have gotten without actually being in college. So once I realized that college was not the only solution, I was like, wait, well, if that's all that I knew and that's what I thought to be correct, that's what I thought to be right, and it didn't work out, so what's next? Because I know I'm not the only person that this happened to. So then I don't know, I started getting creative, and I think that personally is kind of what took me into entrepreneurship. Now, I am not one to say like you should go start your own business, you should go start your own clothing line, because that's not for everybody. And I'm going to be very honest, I know a lot of people who talk about entrepreneurship and they decide that that's what they want to do. Most people are like, I don't want to work for anybody else. Now, me personally, I'm not going to lie. I don't mind I guess, just giving my talents and where I can contribute. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind working on a team. I don't mind not being the lead. I love playing my part, and I know that sometimes I shouldn't be the leader. And if you know me, you know that there are things that I am just not they're not my strong suits. And so it makes me very comfortable with working in a team. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, I think that a lot of people, again, they want to have that it's my way or the highway, like no job. No, that's not me. I like the idea of being a hybrid entrepreneur. I do things. I don't mind having my job. I love working with my kids. I teach kids all around the world how to code. Like, do you know how cool kids are? Bro, kids are so cool. And I love working with kids because um kids are very creative. You know, they have I don't know, their minds are just literally blank canvases. And so whatever you give to them, they're just going to be able to build on top of that. And so I love being able to, you know, impress upon their young minds and just see how cool they are. And they learn so easily, and they're such great listeners, truly, because they're always learning. They're in a constant state of learning. And so sometimes kids are easier to work with than adults. And so I'm glad I've had that experience. And so now I am a jack of many, many trades. I won't say all trades, but I am a jack of many trades. I do work as a STEM instructor, getting to teach kids about tech and robotics and art and engineering on top of coding, which is a lot of fun. We trade, you know, we trade. I love the idea of trading. That's the first real concept of entrepreneurship that I saw that was like, okay, you can do this because it's just you versus you. I help people, I guess adults going back into the educational realm. I help them with their classes. I help them, you know, work on their degrees because, you know, even though these degrees are not necessary, a lot of jobs and a lot of companies still require them. But that's neither here nor there. So I like to help where I can because, again, I know learning that's my strong suit. I was never really athletic. I was never really couldn't really do too much else, but I love learning. So you know, try to just play to my strengths. So yes. What else?
Wow, that's gorgeous. First of all, yes, kids, they're blank canvases, and they're always open. They are open to learning. That's the fun thing. But I love your honesty about entrepreneurship, and again, that's why I'm happy and grateful that you're here this week to speak about it, because yeah, some people, a lot of people, a majority of people think that when you become an entrepreneur, you just throw away, I don't want to work for somebody, instead of, you said giving your talents where you can contribute. And that is just magnificent, right? Because we all have talents, we all have gifts, and being a team, again, like teams win championships. You know that, like, you
Facts.
can't have one person, and of course, there's a star or whatever in some cases, but teams win championships, and that was so beautiful. So yeah, thank you for that. Speaking sort of on this hybrid, I love that, this hybrid entrepreneurship. What are some of the traits that you believe that you need to succeed in that, to be a hybrid entrepreneur?
Discipline, which
Oh,
I am so happy and grateful now that I am more disciplined, because who couldn't use a little bit more discipline, right? And I think that's one thing that I learned when I started trading. Because, whenever you're, working at a job and everything, like, it's easier for someone to give you instructions and you're like, okay, this is what I need to do. But as an entrepreneur, or doing things on your own, or kind of getting creative, it's like, okay, I have to figure out, what am I doing? What is the task I'm trying to accomplish? How am I actually going to spend my time? And then it's like, okay, now what do I need to do? No one tells you that. Sometimes you can do research, but for you personally, you know what you want to accomplish. And so sometimes that might not look like anything anyone can tell you. So you kind of have to figure that out on your own. And sometimes we figure out as we go. And I love that idea, because we don't have to have it all figured out in order to start. And then comes actually doing the work. When it comes to entrepreneurship, I think that's the hardest part that anybody can probably attest to, is actually doing it. We can think and we can plan and we can write it down all day long, but until we actually do things, we're just gonna have plans. We're just going to have these dreams, and they're not actually going to be goals, because there are no action steps going towards them.
ooh.
So to me, honestly, discipline, is just the main thing that I can think of that really kind of overpowers everything else, amongst, like, having the motivation to actually do it in the first place, because we have a lot of ideas and, we're very creative and everything, but just being disciplined enough to say, this is what I said I was going to do, and now I'm actually going to do it to make it come to fruition.
Yeah, yeah. Another Body of Work alumni, I believe she's still on the line, Nadia, she also talked about the action steps behind those goals. So thank you for that alignment as well, because that is important. The thinking is a huge part. Man, it is probably one of the main parts, but I think about that action part of like that one last little beam that's all of those things on fire. So wow, that is beautiful. Um, with having all of these things and doing so many things, how do you keep balance in your life?
What is balance? Because, like, honestly, every day looks different. Even if sometimes I know, like, in certain jobs or in certain things we do, like, some days look like yesterday, but also, like, not every day is the exact same. So knowing that you can only you can only plan so much. I think it's also important to take time to know what you need for yourself. To say, okay, I have to be able to do X, Y, and Z today, and don't overwhelm yourself with, and I used to do this a lot. I used to do this a lot, and I'm working on it now, and I'm so glad that I even just kind of stumbled upon this. So I also am in the process of becoming a software engineer, learning full stack web development. So if you need some sites and something built, let me know. But one thing that the leader of this cohort, when he said, before we even started learning anything about becoming a software engineer, he said, do not go into your days like an accident. And I was like, what does that even mean?
Mm.
So he said, every single day, you get how many hours? You get 24 hours every day. And you know that you're going to get 24 hours a day, God willing. But a lot of people, and I was super guilty of this at the time, and I still am sometimes, of just going into the day as though, like, I didn't know I was going to have time. I didn't know I was going to have things to do. So going into your day, planning it out, knowing where you want to allocate your time, because you only have 24 hours. And that might sound like a lot, but we have to sleep, we have to eat, we have to work, we have to occupy our times with certain things. But don't go into your day by accident. And he said that nothing that is not on his calendar gets done. Like, if it's not on his calendar, then it doesn't get done. And he says he doesn't overwhelm himself with all these different tasks of things that he wants to do, but things that he needs to do right now, and just prioritizing, saying, today I'm going to do this, this, and this. And that's it. I'm not worried about this because I can do the next three tomorrow. I can do the next big thing tomorrow, whatever it is. So one thing at a time. And I was like, that goes back to being disciplined, because it's so easy to be like, well, I could just do a load of laundry and, just clean the bathroom real quick. And sometimes it is good to do things like that. But as far as finding that balance, if you really want to be intentional about it, hey, plan out your time. Know what you need to succeed, know what you need to have yourself thrive, to take care of yourself, and to get everything done. And then you'll be surprised how great you feel at the end of the day, saying, wow, I did actually do what I said I was going to do. It's a good feeling.
That intention is key. Yeah, that is a very good feeling. That is a magnificent feeling, because you know what, I've recently been slipping down that slope as well, where it's like, well, you know what, I could
Slippery slope. It is slippery.
I could squeeze in like 18 more projects on my list. I got a few more hours in the day. Wow, thank you for that. Speaking of you just talking about success, because we do have what we need to succeed. Bing. How do you, Crypto Joe? How do you define success?
Hmm. When I think of success, and I know a lot of people define success as happiness, and I do think that is one aspect of happiness and success and everything. But I think that success is just doing what you said you were going to do. Set out to do something and do it. because it feels so good to accomplish things. Like, I know, we've been working out over the summer, with one of my best friends, Imani. Shout out to her. She's the best, y'all. She has gotten me in shape. I love her. So one thing that I really wanted to focus on, we did a 60-day challenge. One thing I really wanted to focus on was my discipline when it came to my nutrition. Now, I love to eat, but I eat sporadically. And that's actually not good for you because your body goes into survival mode. And you start to hold on to like a lot of body fat and everything. And so I said, I want to eat good food 3 times a day, 5 times a day, whether it's snacks or whether it's like, portion meals or whatever. And we eat good food. It's not, the salads and the sprinkle some cheese. No, like we eat good food. I love to eat. So for me, it was like, I actually get to do something I enjoy doing all day long. And I stuck with it. And when I tell you, I don't know if you saw LP, but I know, shout out to my friends, because by the end, they were in the mirror with me. But every single day after we worked out, I was in the mirror like, gains. And that was just me holding myself accountable because I know I did it. And we push weight. And I love that. I love how strong we are. And by the end, I'm not going to lie, I was hip thrusting 265 pounds with a barbell. And I'm just, I'm so proud of myself because I said I was going to do that. Like at the beginning, my nutrition, I slimmed down, I toned down. And to me, I was so successful. I have not had the best relationship with working out. I'm still working on it. But when I tell you by the end, I was like, no, I feel different. And I feel like I have stepped into somebody completely different because I feel like I accomplished so much that for such a long time, I wasn't really doing. I was kind of working at it, kind of like half-heartedly. But once I really did what I said I was going to do and I saw the results, I was like, look at you. Look at what you can do. So, just doing what you said you were going to do. And then that in itself brings happiness because you're not going to do something you don't want to do, right? You're not going to work so hard to do something you do not want to do, something that's not pleasing to you. So when you do what you say you're going to do, I think that is what brings you personally the most success.
Wow. Yeah. That one blew my brain. Because that makes, you know what it is? It's so simple and it makes so much sense, but hearing it again and hearing it out of the joy, because yes, I have seen you and I'm proud of you. I have seen your stories where you're just like, boom, another day complete. You posted up like, another day, cacao, like, but it's consistency of it, because that has been what you've been putting on your story, what you've been showing to the world, and the smile. And then towards the end, more and more people have been getting in those end shot photos, and y'all do look happy. Y'all look so happy with just the completion of what y'all said, what y'all was going to do, which is magnificent.
Thank you.
Thank you. But I know, or I could guess, in the very beginning or sort of after those first couple of days, it might have gotten challenging, right? So along with working out, along with learning how to code, along with graduating with this meteorologist degree, which I think is phenomenal. But again, in the grand scheme of things, like, if you're not a meteorologist, what are you going to do with it? Every time you tell me that, I'm like, I think of the stars, I think of the planets. Like, I think that shit is great, right? But in the midst of in your entire journey, what do you think has been the most challenging part of your journey, and how did you get through it?
I would say I am actually at the most challenging part right now. Well, one of the most challenging parts, because I realized that it is actually me versus me. Because, the feeling is the secret. The belief in yourself that you can do anything, everything. Like, first of all, obtaining that, I don't even know how we get to that point, but it's just like, understanding how powerful you really are and how capable you really are. And it's like, no, I am actually Superwoman, but I'm not the only Superwoman. And I want everyone else to understand that they are also Superman or Superwoman. You can literally do whatever you want. You just have to actually, decide that that's what you want to do. So as far as the hardest part, The first part was getting connected to God. Now, the spiritual side of success is something that honestly I've actually always struggled with, because I want to know what God wants for me. I want to know where God wants me to go and which path he wants me to take, and all the way down to, God, what do you want me to wear today? Where do you want me to go today? What am I supposed to do today? Show me something. Show me, give me some direction. And the thing is, even with that and not always knowing what God is saying or like knowing what I should do, it's like my steps are already laid out for me. My path has already been written. My story's already been written. It's just, now it's just time for me to live it. But it took me such a long time to understand that. It took me such a long time to like really know who I was and really understand like the strengths that I had, because I wanted to do this, this, and this. And I had all of these, all these things that I could do, but knowing who I am, what I stand for, what I believe in, and just being comfortable with who I am, is like, okay, now that we've gotten to a point that we are very confident in our abilities, in our, our personality, our traits, in our, our strengths, and even in our weaknesses, because there are some weaknesses that we can strengthen, but why not strengthen our strengths and outsource to our weaknesses?
Strength.
All that efficiency.
That's a
So
bar.
once I realized that, knowing like, okay, I am good at this, but I am not good at this. That's the importance of community and knowing like what everyone can do and like really getting to know the people around me. So it's like, I love you and I know that you love me. So like, let's work together. Let's help this, that teamwork again. So now I know that it's just like me versus me. Like I'm the only one that is going to hold me back. It's not going to be anybody else, because if God is before me, then who can be against me? I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about anything or anyone else. I just know that like it's me and God, and he's like, no, I'm waiting on you. So now it's me. It's on me. And it's a beautiful thing. But it's pressure. But pressure makes diamonds. So here we are.
And you're shining over there, absolutely. And I really, and that's something that has been a common theme, I think, with everyone and all the alumni of the body of work, is that, the self reflection part is there, but it also sort of ties into community and teamwork, and I really appreciate that about you, as well.
Thank you.
On the other side, what has been your favorite part so far of your journey?
Don't hate me if I say this, but
Nope.
finding myself and becoming confident, I feel amazing. I feel so good. Like, and I haven't always felt like this. Like, I have had times where I have been, very depressed. I have had times when, we were straddling the fence of like, God, I don't know. And I want people to be transparent about that, because I know people, whenever they see other people that are happy, they're like, there's no way she's like that happy. There's no way that like he's that satisfied with his life. And it's like, no, like you absolutely can be. And it's just accepting that life is gonna life, and like things are not personal. Like whenever things happen to you, it's like, we can talk about it. We can, dwell on it, but it's like at the end of the day, it still happened. This is still part of life, and stuff is gonna happen. And when you're just okay with like the fact that hey, it just is what it is, and there's nothing you can do about that, so except for find solutions. And I've
Yeah.
learned that being solution based has probably been the biggest change in my life. That's been the best part, my favorite part of this entire process, because it's like, I don't care what problem comes. I don't care what happens. It doesn't matter, because I know I'm literally capable of doing anything. And as like, I don't know, I don't want that to sound crazy. I don't want that to sound like, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want it to sound like I am just on.
Oh no. Is that just me? Can you?
To know. Are you good? Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, you're good.
Okay. I don't know what happened.
No, no.
Um,
Not
but
today.
we're good.
We're good now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just such a beautiful thing to know that you're so capable. Um,
Yes.
and learning how capable I really was, not just when it comes to education. Learning I was capable of hip thrusting 265, like, and it was easy, LP. I'm telling you, it was slight. And just knowing that at the beginning, I wish people could have seen me when I was working out on the rooftop. That was not, it wasn't like a, paved with tiles. It was a rooftop with, like, I don't know, like, you're not supposed to be up there. I was
Yeah.
working out on the rooftop with my friends on FaceTime that were here back in Georgia. And I was like, this is where it starts for me. And then knowing that, a month ago I hip thrusted 265 easy, it's like, that's just been such a big thing. Like, knowing that I went from there to here and nothing passed but time. Time and effort, that's all it took. So if I can do that, what else can I do? Everything. I can literally do anything and everything that I like. So my favorite part has been just learning about myself, knowing how capable I am, that I can literally do whatever I want. I'm so much more capable, so much stronger, so much more willing than I ever thought I would be. And that's a very beautiful thing.
That is a gorgeous thing. And your ability to stay open to learning, and to make it through and to push, because yeah, it starts somewhere. So thank you for saying that as well, because that's a very powerful visual, right? Just starting on a rooftop somewhere, FaceTiming. Now to get to this point, you have to start somewhere, and that is something that, I have been, I used to struggle with. I've been struggling with, where it's like I would overthink a lot of things, and it's just like, okay, well, I can start here, or I can start here, I can start here. But that one little extra beat of, like,
Mm-hmm.
what, FaceTime and start.
Mm-hmm.
Get up on the roof and start.
Facts.
What you need to do and start. That one extra little bean to tip
Mm-hmm.
over everything is just magnificent. And the last question, you wonderful, beautiful soul. What does self-care look like for you?
Self-care for me is a good meal.
Mm.
A good meal. I love to eat. I think eating is such an experience, and I'm sure that probably sounds it sounds terrible, but I love to eat. And one thing that I have really, oh my gosh, LP, I'm gonna describe to you the most recent experience of self-care that was just, it really took me over the top. So, some of my friends, they are moving, and I'm very sad. But I'm super super proud of my friends. I'm super proud of the fact I miss them so much already. But I'm so proud of the fact that they're doing it. They're picking
Mhm.
up, going, because literally, why not? So they've been moving all their stuff this past weekend. And yesterday I picked one of my friends up from the airport, and she said, "Let me take you somewhere. The least I can do is buy you lunch." So yesterday we had a gourmet grilled cheese sandwich. And this is not just like your I don't know, it's not just the grilled cheese, but it had all of the fixins, right? It had like macaroni and like some greens and cornbread and a little honey on it and like some smoked turkey. And I was like, how did you even do this? And how sometimes you try to make conversation over lunch, but I couldn't. And the thing is, she knew how happy it made me. And she just sat across from me and smiled. And like, knowing that I am making her happy because I'm having a good experience, like, they just did something for me. So being in the company of good people, being around my friends are the best. Being able to have good conversations and to just think about things I've never really thought about before, and to just make memories, because I know if anybody has ever been around me, you've probably been in one of my time capsules. That is one of my very simple pleasures in life. So just making memories, especially over a good meal, that is my idea of self-care.
Wow. When you come out here, we gonna take you to some spots because we
I,
had that experience last week. It was recently, but I know exactly that feeling of what you're talking about because there's something different when that. Yep.
yep,
Anyway,
yep.
anyway, that's a whole other call.
Absolutely.
Jahidi, you are magnificent. You are spectacular. Thank you so much for all of your time. Wow, that
Thank-
was beautiful. That was beautiful. And I keep coming back to it, but I love the fact that you were very honest about the teamwork part because that is so important. That is so important. So thank you for that. Now, it is the time in the show where we jump into a little game called Take It or Leave It. Now, if you are new to the show and don't know how it goes, here's how it goes. If you take something, that means you would give it a glass of water. That means you would make sure there is space on your hard drive for all the extra files. You would invite it to hot yoga and jump on the phone and FaceTime and be like, yo, we doing this. If you leave something, that means you would kick it to the curb. You would put it in the recycling bin. That means you would not DVR its favorite show. So, first up, if DVR is still a thing. First up, hammocks. Are you
Oh,
taking them?
every single time I'm
Yeah.
taking,
Okay.
just real quick, you ever just thought about like babies? Now, babies have it good. And you know how they have that little machine that you can just set them in and it like kind of rocks them for you? I think that's what a hammock is, but for adults.
Oh.
Shout out to, yep, love hammocks. I'm
Okay.
gonna take the hammocks.
Bet. Fantastic. We love it. Yeah. Love a good nap over here too. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You're gonna enjoy your time when you come out here. You're gonna have a blast. Okay. Kung Fu films. Are you taking them? Or are you leaving them?
I'm not gonna lie. I personally think kung fu films are kind of cheesy, but no, I have not watched a lot of them. But I don't know. I'm not into the kung fu thing, but I feel like it could be cool. But me personally, I'm gonna leave them for someone else.
Wow, that's the nice. That's the nicest thing. Yes. Oh my God, that is sweet. Tea parties. Tea parties. Are you taking them? Or are you leaving them?
You know, whenever I was younger, I actually had a tea party with my sister and my cousin and some of the older women in our family, and I found these pictures earlier this week, and it was so cute. Now, me personally, now I would probably love the idea of a tea party. I don't know why that didn't even cross my mind, but I think I want to have a tea party. So I'm gonna take it, and maybe we can maybe we'll see that in the future. Who knows? I love
Future,
that.
ladies and gentlemen. Futurist.
You
Yes.
heard it here first.
We love it. This sort of ties into the yeah, tea with well, yes, absolutely. This ties into that next one. So brunch. Brunch. Are you taking it? Or are you taking
Now LP. I just feel like brunch is special. I don't know if brunch was I'm sure brunch was very popular at another point in time, but we have redefined what brunch looks like. Brunch it's a whole move, and it is also a way to enjoy yourself during the day while the sun is up. And I was actually talking to someone who had a brunch that ended at like 5 o'clock, and I was like, "What time did you? It's almost time for dinner now, but brunch is whenever you want it to be, I guess." So we love brunch. We're gonna take it.
love a good brunch. Love a good brunch. White sneakers.
Oh gosh, no. Now, I love white sneakers, but there's something else I'm just gonna have to leave for someone else because I would have to keep buying white sneakers. It's so hard to keep white clothes and white shoes and white things white. And that's too much pressure for me. I sometimes I eat like a child. Sometimes you kind of trip over your own feet. That's me. Not gonna lie. So mine get scuffed up. They, get something spilled on. I'm gonna leave the white shoes. Gonna leave them there.
Sometimes brunch gets a little messy,
The brunch is a little too brunch.
You might drop a
Yeah.
fry.
Yeah. Straight like
that. Crocodiles. Crocodiles. Are you taking them or are you leaving them?
I am going to say, I'm going. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna take them, just because I feel like they make the animal kingdom very interesting. And you know that alligators and crocodiles, when they're in the water, they just kind of like float. Like their heads are like this, but they just kind of float. Yeah, I just saw that on Twitter. Yeah, go look it up. They're not like swimming. They're just like that. We would never know. Crazy.
Yeah. Okay, Crocs. We got
Yeah.
it. Dennis the Menace.
Oh, Dennis the Menace was a handful. He was a handful. And honestly, though, I feel like that kid was pretty smart. So honestly, and I like kids like that. Like I was kind of a troublesome kid. Like I hacked into the computers at my school whenever I was in kindergarten, and honestly, I got in trouble for it. I mean, I allegedly hacked in,
Yeah.
Um,
Allegedly.
So yeah, I think personally, why not? I think that he would be a really cool kid, and I would love to see who Dennis the Menace would grow up to be as an adult.
Wow. Again, one of the sweetest answers. That is. And then the last one that we customarily end the show with here, books.
Absolutely.
Are you leaving?
Gonna take them.
Yeah.
And I think, as most people can probably attest to, we have not been readers our entire lives. Sometimes it's hard to focus on a book, or you get sidetracked and then you don't remember where you were, and then you feel the need to start over, and we just never finish. I'm guilty of that. I'm still guilty of that. There are a lot of books that you probably know of that we have started, and we have started to read, and we have made progress, and we have taken good gems, and we have never made it to the end of that book. And I'm going to do it. Because I want to, and I know that there are gems in books. The answers to the world, I feel like they lie in books, or they lie in text. So I love books now. I'm trying to get better. I am getting better. Watching my language. I am getting better about reading, and just kind of taking time to digest what I actually read, so I can use it, because there's no point in having all of this knowledge and not putting it into action. So we are definitely going to take books, but
Beautiful.
we're going to leave them afterwards for someone else so they can pass it on, because that's important. Like Xochitl said yesterday, we don't want it to die with us, right? There's no point in it dying with us. That doesn't help anyone after us. So it's literally our duty to pass it on. And I love that. That's a good responsibility to have.
That is a great, wow. And the time, well, shout out to everybody. Shout out to you. Wow. Jahidi, again, thank you. That's all I really got to say is thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any shout outs? Do you have anything coming down the pike that we should be aware of, that you want to let the people know of?
Honestly, I want to tell everyone, be nicer to people, give people more grace, love people a little bit more, because that's what life is about. I know a lot of people, they want to be, self-made and everything like that. They want to get it from the mud. But like, we need people. And we need people to be a little bit nicer. We need, we don't give ourselves enough grace. We're so hard on ourselves, and you're doing well. You're doing what you're supposed to do. If anyone who hears this, anyone who ever watches this, I hope you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, then okay, that's fine. But having that awareness of knowing that this is all part of the journey. Who really knows? We don't know. We just know that we're supposed to be working towards something. If we're still here, that means that our time is not up. Obviously, there are things we still need to accomplish. So let's figure out what they are. Love yourself. Love other people with your whole heart. Don't make it conditional. We need more unconditional love. So that's it. That's it. I love you guys. I love you. Thank you for even having me on here. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to even tell my story. So I appreciate you so much.
We appreciate you, Jahidi. That was beautiful, and I don't know about anybody else, but I, for one, needed to hear that one as well too. So, thank you so much. Yes, we love you, and as always, shout outs to Sync Productions, Taj, Melvin, and Tame Arts. They're doing magnificent work over in Philadelphia. Shout outs to them boys over at Garden Party. Shout outs to De La Nona. Special shout outs to Hot and Cool Cafe down Limerick Park and Crenshaw Coffee Co. Check the LA area. They're now being distributed in multiple coffee shops around the area. So shout outs to them. Everybody in Philadelphia and in the East Coast, everybody in South Central, the West Coast, everybody in Georgia and down in the South, because we love it down there too. And from Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, in Vietnam, Asia, from Tortel, from Selena, from myself, everybody here at Long Sleeve, Jahidi, we thank you again so much for being here. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. And we'll see you next time. Good night.